Scott is out of the race because when it comes down to it, he just couldn't compete with Donald Trump. Which is crazy to me because Trump is the dude that is saying shit like this.
Donald Trump echoed the dangerous language of infamous fascist leaders. Trump vowed to root out the, quote, vermin within the country.
We pledge to you that we will root out the communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin within the confines of our country, that lie and steal and cheat on elections.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump is essentially confirming reports that he plans to get revenge on his critics if he wins a second term.
Yeah, it could certainly happen in reverse. They've done something that nobody thought would happen. They've done indictments in order to win an election. It could certainly happen in reverse. What they've done is they've released the genie out of the box. You understand that?
Wait. Am I tripping? Did he say genie out of the box? Man, this dude can't even tell the truth about genies. The one thing we know about genies is that they come out of a lamp. If a genie comes out of a box, that's not a real genie. That's an elf that went to trade school and then took a genie class. How you gonna trust a genie in a box? If the genie can't afford a lamp, he definitely can't afford 3 wishes. He might be able to give you 1.5 wishes, but they definitely gonna be up. More importantly, this man is calling American citizens vermin when he is literally the definition of vermin. He's talking about throwing the definition. He's talking about throwing his opponents in jail when he literally should be in jail. And he is the leading candidate. Can you believe he is the leading candidate? No. What the America? How did y'all let this happen? Because this ain't my fault. I wasn't paying attention. The man's indicted in every state in America. I didn't know you was allowed to run for the president while you was already running from the po-po. Like, seriously, he doesn't even know that genies go into lamps. How is this happening? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Am I having a stroke? Let's kick things off with the Supreme Court. Child. Oh, they make rules for everyone else to live by. What we're allowed to say, what we can do with our bodies, how gay our cakes can be. But it turns out that they've had no rules for themselves until now.
Let's turn now to an historic move by the Supreme Court. The 9 justices adopting a formal code of conduct for the first time in the court's history.
This morning, a formal code of conduct now in place after a steady drip of stories on some of the justices' undisclosed trips, private jet rides, and other perks. This 14-page document, signed by all 9 justices, now laying out how they should avoid the appearance of impropriety, when to recuse from a case, and reaffirming the existing rules around gifts. Public pressure to do something has been mounting in recent months after reporting about Justice Clarence Thomas in particular, and years' worth of unreported luxury vacations paid for by a top conservative megadonor, something Thomas said he believed he didn't need to report at the time.
Are you kidding me? You gonna pretend that you didn't know the stuff you did was wrong until now? Having good judgment is the entire point of being a judge. Okay? You're supposed to weigh everything and make a smart decision. That's why there's a bitch with a scale outside your office. Just ask her. But now they finally have some ethics rules, which is so embarrassing. The Supreme Court went thousands of years without needing an ethics code until these corrupt bastards came along. It's like how Tide Pods had to add "do not eat" label after all them TikTokers started dying. And you know what? Here's what really pisses me off, though. The ethics code isn't even enforceable, so it's not gonna work. Okay? If you want to hold people accountable, you got to be able to fire them. Okay? Like, I used to work at UPS. And I did a good job because I could get fired. But if I couldn't get fired, do you know how many things I would have did to them packages? Do you know how many of my ex-boyfriends would have got a horse's head? Let's move on to the Congress. On a normal day, Congress is the place where America's representatives gather together for a respectful debate about the issues. But today, one senator wanted all the smoke.
And the intense level of frustration being seen in the Senate. Check out this nasty exchange involving Oklahoma Republican Markwayne Mullin, Teamsters leader Sean O'Brien, and then Bernie Sanders trying to play peacemaker.
You tweeted at me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And let me read what the last one said. Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. You want to run your mouth? We can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on. Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution, every poll?
No, sit down.
No, you're a clown.
Sit down. Look at you. You know, you're a United States Senator. Sit down.
Active.
Back off, Bernie! Bernie, shut up! They was about to fight. I want to see that. But you know what? I knew this dude was trouble from the moment I heard his name, Markwayne. All one word. His parents didn't even love him enough to pick one single name for him. They just shoved 2 names together and called it a day. Calm down, Markwayne isn't some shit I want to hear on C-SPAN. It's what you hear when you watch an episode of Cops. But more importantly, is that what America has come to? People fighting in the Senate? Because if it is, I want in. Lindsey Graham, I want you in the ring. Ted Cruz, bring your weird ass beer so I can beat your ass. Mitch. Oh, somebody already hit him. The president of China is in the United States for the first time since 2017. Now, this is a big deal for China and the United States, but it's a really big deal for the city of San Francisco.
Because the world leaders are coming into town, San Francisco has suddenly decided to clean up the city. Contractors and maintenance crews not only sweeping streets and getting rid of trash and drug paraphernalia, but officials and law enforcement also removing people. Many homeless reportedly being moved out of the areas where they might be seen.
I know folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true. Obviously, anytime you put on an event, by definition, you have people over your house, you're going to clean up the house. You're going to make sure the kids, make their beds. Take the socks, let's put them in the drawer, in the hamper.
Homeless people don't have a hamper. Did Mr. Slick just say he's hiding the homeless people like you throw dirty socks into the hamper? Yes. Clean your room up, China's coming over. What? I have a crazy idea. What if instead of just moving the homeless into shelters when company comes over, how about they have a home to sleep in all the time? think it's crazy to give a homeless person a house, but it's been proven time again that if you just give someone a home to live in, it's actually cheaper than keeping them on the streets. And don't tell me that you don't have enough empty houses, because I watch House Hunters all the time. And there's at least 2 empty houses for every picky-ass couple looking for a place. The good news is that Congress voted yesterday to keep funding the government. Yes. So there isn't going to be a government shutdown. Congrats, Congress. You did the absolute bare fucking minimum. Now, the bad news is that every single person up on Capitol Hill seems to be losing their damn mind. Yesterday, we talked about a senator challenging a witness to fight, and he wasn't even the only one getting physical.
Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett says former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy elbowed him in the kidneys.
Got elbowed in the back, and it kind of caught me off guard because it was a clean shot to the kidneys, and I turned back, and there was Kevin.
McCarthy calling any physical contact between the two men purely accidental.
If I kidney punch him, he'd be on the ground, so come on.
Oh my God! You guys are such children. You act like 5-year-olds. This is insane. Listen, I know what it's like to want to fight a coworker. But don't do that at work. You wait for them in the parking lot like a responsible adult. One of the rising young stars of the Republican Party is not rising anymore.
We begin with that shocking turn by embattled New York Congressman George Santos, saying he will not run for re-election. That announcement follows the release of the House Ethics Committee report just hours ago, concluding there is substantial evidence Santos violated federal criminal laws.
This report could potentially change the calculation on Capitol Hill, saying he fraudulently exploited every aspect of his House candidacy for his own personal financial profit.
They say that Santos blatantly stole from his campaign, spending campaign funds, according to this report, on things like Botox, lavish trips to Atlantic City, on OnlyFans, on designer goods. I mean, really everything under the sun.
What? Our George?
Oh, no, our star volleyball player, George.
That's the man that prevented 9/11.
No. Oh. Leslie, I hate to say it, but this man is really making me start to distrust politicians. Leslie, can you believe this?
I can't believe it. But it's true. Santos got caught spending campaign money on Botox and OnlyFans. And this is on top of him stealing credit cards, wire fraud, and identity theft. When he goes to jail and they ask him, what are you in for? He's going to be like, everything! And I don't even get some of the spending. How do you spend money on lavish trips to Atlantic City? Have you been to Atlantic City? A lavish trip there just means that you don't go home with bed bugs. And he's spending money on OnlyFans? I mean, I feel sorry for his campaign manager. Mr. Santos, should we buy some more bumper stickers? No! I need this to jack off!
Yeah. I mean, here's what I think. Why is he spending money on Botox? He's the youngest member of Congress by 1,000 years, and you don't get Botox. Just stand next to Mitch McConnell.
Exactly! He doesn't need Botox,
No.
but the rest of them old-ass congressmen do. We should at least get Chuck Schumer some more titties. Some new titties.
However many he wants, he gets them. Let's consider the case settled. Moving on to international news. Yesterday, President Biden met with Chinese President Xi Jinping, and it sounds like the results were mixed.
Now to the high-stakes summit between President Biden and China's President Xi.
The leaders of the world's two greatest superpowers had not even spoken in a year, now lowering the temperature, agreeing, President Biden says, to pick up the phone when the other one calls.
There was another headline out of the meeting that I think a lot of Americans will be happy to hear.
Just a week after Washington's National Zoo said farewell to those 3 giant pandas in D.C., President Xi overnight teased that China will send more pandas back to the U.S., calling them envoys of friendship.
New fallout this morning from President Biden's meeting with a man he called a dictator.
Well, look, he is. I mean, he's a dictator in the sense that he is a guy who runs a country that is a communist country that is based on a form of government totally different than ours.
The Chinese Foreign Ministry quickly responding, calling the remark extremely wrong and irresponsible political manipulation.
Now, I understand why China is mad, but in Biden's defense, dictator is actually the least offensive thing I've heard an 80-year-old man call a Chinese dude. And some people wish Biden was more diplomatic to a guest. But let's be honest. A week from now, everyone in America is going to talk shit about every single person who comes over for Thanksgiving. And if I can call my cousin a pill-popping drama queen, then Biden can call a dictator a dictator. Leslie, am I wrong about this?
No, you are not wrong about this. But I sure wish he had the balls to say it to him in person. You know, If you gonna call me a bitch to my face.
I have that on a throw pillow.
Now, what we should be talking about, though, is those pandas. I'm so excited. They're coming back.
Yeah, okay. Yes, pandas are exciting, but let's not get distracted by sideshows. The media will pay attention to the little things, not the serious issues. We need to focus on Taiwan, the Uyghurs, climate change.
Yes, of course. Taiwan is very important.
Of course.
But them pandas,
right.
though.
Yeah.
Them pandas. Did you see the video of the pandas where they roll around in the snow? Oh, my God, so cute.
They are very cute. The snow makes it only cuter. I mean, I get it. But we shouldn't take our eye off the ball.
Ooh, speaking of a ball, did you see the video of them playing with the ball?
I mean, that is adorable. That's adorable because it's like a dog meets a bear, which is a panda. It's dog bear play. It's just like a cute little machine.
That's so cute.
Oh, man. What were we talking about?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter.
Nope.